Did you think that this show could get any better? Because I sure didn't, but that just changed because, this was such a good episode. Such a good Luther episode. Or maybe not Luther as we find out. But, anyways, guys, this is Superman and Lois episode 7. Quick spoiler warning if you have not seen the episode yet, because we're going in depth here, breaking it all down, detail by detail, with all the spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, then obviously you don't want to watch this video until after you watch the episode. So, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts on the episode in the comments below. But let's jump into this. So we start off the episode with literally right after last episode ended off, where we see that Jordan, his powers have kicked in, his hearing powers have kicked in, and he can't control it, so he's in a lot of pain here. So Clark has brought him to the Fortress of Solitude, and he basically finds out from Jor-El that, his powers have kicked in, and the pain basically won't stop until he's able to master this power. So that's the big thing for Jordan in this whole episode, is he is trying to learn how to control his powers. But meanwhile, we have some big stuff going on with Luther, because he has another flashback. We actually get a couple of flashbacks in this episode that reveal some pretty interesting things, because, of course, his wife is Lois Lane. Apparently, they also have a daughter as well, and they wake up one morning, and all of a sudden, Superman in his black suit, evil Superman, and a bunch of different Kryptonians all destroy the city. So we see represented once again why he's so adamant about trying to eliminate the threat with Superman on Earth Prime, because he's had experience with not having a good relationship with Superman in the past. But we'll talk about the other flashbacks more later. But then, after this, Lois is actually talking to Luther in present day on Earth Prime, and she's basically just trying to figure out who this guy is and what is going on with him, because as she found out at the end of last episode, this is not Marcus. That's not even his name. That's some other completely random guy. So this is some other person, and she's just trying to figure out who is this guy. But meanwhile, while she talks to him, Clark actually investigates Luther's RV, and when he goes in there, Luther's newly rebuilt AI mistakes Clark as her boss, or her captain, and calls him Captain Luther. So now Clark and Lois, they know that not only is this guy already shady, but now they know that he has some sort of connection to the Lex Luthor, or is Lex Luthor, or something along those lines. So, obviously that doesn't give them the best first impression of them, because they already hate Lex Luthor, so this just makes them get even shadier about this guy. So, then, we get another flashback where evil Superman actually kills Lois Lane, because she, of course, doing her job, she's out there reporting on this attack on Metropolis, when Superman just straight up laser eyes her, and she gets fried. So he and his daughter had to watch this live on TV. So then after this, those two, they team up to build the war suit that actually makes Luther into the stranger that we saw that he'd been wearing the first couple episodes here. So they build the suit. And then, in present day, again, Lois agrees to plan a meetup between Luther and Superman, because that's really what he wants to do. He just wants to talk to Superman. So they agree to do that in exchange for the X-Kryptonite, which Luther just obtained from a shipment that was being transported by Morgan Edge. So they make the trade-off, and he goes to investigate, Superman meets up with Luther. But meanwhile, apparently Lois was investigating him with some connections at the DOD, and finds out not only is this guy's name not Lex Luthor, and obviously not Marcus, whatever, but his name is actually John Henry Irons. And when this reveal happened, I was like, oh my, yes, things are getting crazy. This was such a huge twist, because if you don't know who John Henry Irons is, in the comics, this character, not only is he actually a hero, but he is Steel. He was a big character in the Reign of the Superman, the Reign of the Supermen storyline event, where after Superman died, a bunch of Superman emerged to like kind of take his place, and John Henry Irons was one of these guys that was like just wanted to do the right thing and wanted to save lives and stuff. So he created this suit with this awesome hammer and became one of the new Supermen. So now here we have Luthor, or I guess now John Henry Irons, or Steel, who is here, and it gets very complicated because obviously it's very different from the comics. But this is the Man of Steel. So he has the hammer here, and it was so cool. He explains the logistics of it, of like the farther away you throw it from, the more power it has and all that stuff. So they all, these two battle. It's Superman versus Steel, which was awesome. And this makes me think that, and really hope that, because the original war suit that Luthor was wearing here looks nothing like Steel in the comics, that makes me feel like, well, that suit was actually destroyed in the first couple episodes. So he's going to need, so if he's the main villain here this season, he's going to need to rebuild a suit, a new war suit, to battle Superman at the end of the season for the big final battle. So what if that big new suit looks exactly like Steel in the comics? And oh, that would be so good. Oh, that would be so awesome to see Steel in live action, because we technically have before. There was actually a Steel movie with Shaquille O'Neal. I haven't seen it, but it looks really cheap. But this is just such a huge twist. I'm just so excited about this. So anyway, Steel is actually about to kill Superman. When Jordan actually hears him, he's able to channel his hearing power and actually locate them. And we saw a couple different things with Jordan and Jonathan earlier in the episode, where we see that Jordan, obviously, he's staying home from school because he can't control his powers and he's in a lot of pain. But he keeps taking his headphones off to try and focus on just one sound and try and master his powers. And he can't do it over and over again. He keeps trying. But this one time he looks at a picture of Sarah on his phone and just channels her, just listens to her voice. And it makes sense that this is like the one thing that he can focus on, because it seems like he really does love her. And, you know, it's a very, very nice moment here that we had. But the problem is that when he's listening to her, he actually finds out that she and Jonathan are having a conversation, because Jonathan was just talking to this hot girl who just strolled up and started flirting with him, and then Sarah showed up and was like, yeah, she's way out of your league. But then you start to actually see a bit of flirtation between Jonathan and Sarah, and we heard about this going into this series, that there was going to be kind of a love triangle between these two, and between these three, and it seems like that's really kicking into gear here. So I'm interested to see. I mean, I feel like she belongs more with Jordan, but that's just because we've seen more of those two together. But who knows what's going to happen here. But anyway, he's able to now channel his powers at least a little bit better than before. So Jonathan actually drives them there, even though he doesn't even have his learner's permit yet. And they run over Steel. So they take him out. He's done. He's down. And Luthor, or Steel, is defeated. Then we find out a little bit more about what Lana is doing here, because Lana, of course, has this new job with Morgan Edge, and she, in this episode, has been hiring some new people to work for Edge. But then we find out at the end of the episode that these people that she just hired are not people that were actually just hired to work for Morgan Edge. These are people that basically just got enlisted to become subjects for Morgan Edge to be tested on with the X-Kryptonite. But, Leslie Lar is the only person so far that they've experimented on that has actually survived the experiments. So not very likely that these people are going to survive. And remember that actually Morgan Edge even wanted what's his name? Lana's husband, Kyle, to get hired as well. So I'm interested to see if that goes anywhere in the next episode. But then our final ending scene of the episode is again with Luther, and it doesn't really do anything to set us up here, but it is another flashback where we have Luther and his daughter, and he says that he's located Kal-El, and he's going to go out there and kill him. And basically he says that I'm going to be right back, I promise. And then it just keeps echoing and echoing as we flash back to present day, where he is just sitting there alone in the cell, and obviously he did not come right back. Even though he promised, he was not able to make his way back to his daughter. And it's emotional because, again, Steel in the comics is not a villain. He is not at all a villain. He's actually a hero. So this is what makes me feel like maybe by the end of the season, even though he is the main villain of the season, maybe he could actually be redeemed and become a hero, because he is doing this for a reason. He's not doing this because he's evil. He's doing it because he thinks it's right. He's doing it because he thinks he is the hero. So I really like this. And it was such a huge twist and it's so crazy, but it makes so much sense that this guy is John Henry Irons, aka Steel. And again, this gets me so excited that we're going to see him suit up with an actual Steel suit. And I'm so excited for it. I really am. But anyways, guys, that was the end of the episode, and I am so excited for this. Unfortunately, there won't be an episode on next week, or at least that's what the promo said. On the TV guide that I checked, it said that there was a new episode of both this and The Flash next week, but then in the promos it didn't say it was new until June 9th. So I'm not completely sure when we're getting new episodes, but if neither one of those shows are on next week, then none of the Arrowverse shows are on. Legends of Tomorrow is not on. Batwoman is not on. Superman and Lois and Flash will not be on. And obviously Black Lightning has ended. So, I don't know. It looks like we're taking a bit of a break from the Arrowverse. But this was such a good episode. I absolutely loved it. But, guys, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below. All your theories with this whole Steel twist and all that good stuff. So, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything that goes on in the DC life.